struggle within the Republican Party over welfare reform is intensifying. GOP Senator Phil Gramm today attacked the welfare reform plan of fellow presidential contender and Senate Majority Leader Robert Dole. Gramm says Dole's plan will fail to stop the rise in out-of-wedlock births. He squared off with Democratic Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan on the issue today.
If we tried an approach in the past, and these results have continued and now are accelerating, we have got to dramatically change that program. And I think that we've got to recognize only two things have ever broken the cycle of poverty: work and family.
If the federal government abandons this issue, the states will not deal with it, and we will have a crisis at the turn of the century of a kind that both Phil Gramm and I find foreboding. And we think we have in place something that is working. I wish the administration had not come out that change welfare as we know it.
Welfare reform is expected to dominate Senate debate this week. More than 1,200 firefighters are battling flames and scorching temperatures in Southern California. The blaze has torched nearly 17,000 acres of desert wilderness, some 20 miles northwest of Palm Springs. Firefighters have been hampered by steep terrain and temperatures topping 110 degrees. The fire is now 50% contained. It is hoped to be fully contained by Monday evening. Croatian troops continue their swift advance on rebel Serb-held territory. UN peacekeepers confirm that after 3 days of fighting, Croat soldiers have captured all major towns and roads in the Krajina region. In response, Croatia and the United Nations have agreed to turn the peacekeeping force in Krajina into human rights observers and aid workers. Meantime, tens of thousands of Serbs are pouring out of Krajina and into northern Bosnia, creating a new group of refugees. One UN official says it could be the largest exodus in the 4 years of war in the region. In Germany, tensions are easing a bit after 3 nights of rioting, looting, and street battles between hundreds of youths and police in the city of Hanover. Police arrested 450 so-called punks on the last of a 3-day festival, using water cannons to disperse the crowds. The youth then pelted riot police with rocks and bottles when police moved in to contain them. Wildlife preservationists are celebrating the new arrivals at China's Beijing Zoo. For the first time, a snow leopard in captivity has given birth. The cubs boost by 3 the number of the endangered snow leopards left in the world. And that's all the news we have time for now. We'll have more at the top of the hour. Now please stay tuned for Travel Guide.
Ah, the fruit of the vine and the bounty of the field. Travel Guide explores the hidden corners of Italy just ahead.
Hello and welcome to Travel Guide. I'm Valerie Voss. A few weeks ago, the American Society of Travel Agents asked its members what international destinations were hot with their customers this year. The top 5 spots: the United Kingdom, France, Mexico, Germany, and Italy. Now, most travelers are familiar with Rome, Florence, and Venice, but Travel Guide has found one spot in Italy that hasn't quite been discovered yet by non-Italians. Here's today's cover story.
From a tourism standpoint, the Puglia region of southern Italy is a hidden gem. The area is better known as the heel of the boot of Italy. The history of the region is turbulent. Puglia has been the battleground of countless invaders. Today, the forts and lookout towers remain, crumbling along the edges of the Adriatic and Ionian coasts.
This area has lost its forest simply because historically it's been settled for a very long time and continuously so. But I guess it all started with the ancient Greeks. They're really responsible for the degradation of the forest and so on, followed by the Romans, who cut down the trees, built the roads, aqueducts, and of course various aspects of buildings that we still see some stone remnants of in the countryside.
The most convenient way to see Puglia is by car. The superstrada, or highway, divides the region, which makes travel to coastal cities convenient. The village of Santa Maria di Lucia lies at the tip of the heel. This spot officially divides the Adriatic and Ionian seas. Here, the crashing waves have cut caves or grottos into the limestone coastline. This makes it a spectacular scenic drive north to the city of Otranto. It was first held by the Greeks, which explains why it looks like a city on a Greek island. The dwellings are clustered on a hill around a fortress. All are whitewashed. Because of its location and beaches, Otranto is a summer getaway destination for many Italians. The port city of Gallipoli is located across the peninsula on the Ionian Sea. Despite continuous invasions over thousands of years, the city remained a strong mercantile center because of its port. Museums like this ancient underground olive oil press and ancient churches offer a glimpse into the past. Less than an hour's drive from Gallipoli is the city of Lecce. Today, a soccer game win may be the only history many young people are thinking about, but Lecce is surrounded by 3,000 years of history, all of which can be seen in its architecture.
There's the Roman period, and this town has a Roman amphitheater and a Roman theater for performance. And then there's a lot of architecture from the 1300s and the 1400s. There's even a couple of churches from the 1100s when the Normans had conquered this whole area. But the bulk of the architecture and the architecture that makes Lecce famous is its Baroque architecture.
Modern-day Lecce accommodates both business and pleasure travelers with its many international hotels and first-class restaurants. The area also has a bountiful supply of fresh vegetables, homemade wines, and of course pasta. With this reputation, Lecce and the region of Puglia have become popular with those seeking good food, thousands of years of history, and warm, quiet days along the Mediterranean.
And now, the latest news from the world of travel. Several hundred miles to the north and west, and light years away culturally, Euro Disney has become France's #1 tourist attraction. That puts it ahead of the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. This time last year, the park was facing financial ruin. Officials credit lower ticket prices and a new roller coaster with the turnaround. For CNN Travel Guide, I'm Don Harrison.
The Puglia region is known for having some of the strongest wines in Italy. So strong, in fact, that they're sometimes used to fortify other lighter wines. We have to take a break right now, but when we come back, we'll have more on the wines of Puglia, and we'll pay an off-season visit to the original Magic Kingdom. Stay with us.
Has this ever happened to you? What a mess! What about this for a carpet design? Trails, tracks, spills, stains. This carpet has had it. But wait, introducing No Wet Wonder Foam, the miracle carpet cleaner from the makers of DD7. Here's a real test. Sump oil, shoe polish, soot, crayon, and stove black. Now here's a mess you'll never have. Wonder Foam is super concentrated, only a capful to 10 ounces of water. Now, with your special foam applicator, dip and squeeze. The foam is all you need. Can you believe your eyes? Wonder Foam works gently, without wetting, and ingests every granule of soil, leaving your carpets looking like new. No Wet Wonder Foam is a scientific breakthrough that lets you clean any carpet quickly, totally, and without wetting. This specially designed applicator is lightweight, but up to the toughest job. And Wonder Foam will perform its magic on upholstery you thought would never come clean. No Wet Wonder Foam can be yours on this special TV offer for $14.95, or save $10 and order 2 for $5 more. That's 2 for $19.95, and we'll include the applicator at no additional charge. If Wonder Foam doesn't work this easily and effectively for you, we will gladly refund your money.
In the U.S. or Canada, call toll-free 1-800-257-1257 or send $14.95 for 1 bottle or $19.95 for 2 bottles, plus $5.95 shipping to No Wet Wonder Foam, P.O. Box 2919, Atlanta, Georgia. Or call 1-800-257-1257.
Tonight on CNN, there's an all-new hour of analysis and debate featuring Washington's top observers. A new Capitol gang at 7 Eastern is joined by debate from the left and the right on Crossfire Sunday at 7:30. Tonight on CNN.
Beginning Thursday, it's the tournament every top player in the world is aiming for. The 1995 PGA Championship. Live 4-round coverage beginning 1:30 Eastern Thursday. Turn to TBS.
Do you have any questions concerning the menu today, or have you made your selection?
I've decided. I'm going to have the fusilli, and then I want one of the field green salads, please.
Okay, very good.
Thanks. Welcome back to Travel Guide. Today we're at the Italian trattoria Fusi. That's Italian slang for fun. To really understand a new destination, travelers would do well to learn a little bit about what's on the local dinner table. Joining me now is Executive Chef Larry Esposito here at Fusi. He's going to tell us about the Italian dinner table. Italians really love their food, don't they?
Yes, Italian people are very passionate about their food. They love to sit around a table, gather with family and friends, and eat, eat, eat.
Now tell me about the food from the Puglia region.
Well, primarily coming from the southern part of the country and being very close neighbors to Greece, they like a lot of olive oil. They make a very fine olive oil. They've got a lot of interesting little shapes of pastas like orchetti, which means little ear, and fusilli, which is the corkscrew, and cavatelli, or cavatetti in their dialect. And they like to throw those together with some bitter greens or bitter broccoli and of course, red tomato sauce.
Just talking about it is making me hungry.
I have your fusilli for you.
Oh, it looks wonderful.
May I offer you fresh peppercorn?
Please. That's fine, thanks.
Thank you.
Larry, I can hardly wait. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
Now, while I taste this, here's another taste for you of the culture of Puglia.
The soft colors of blue that rise from the Mediterranean help set the tone and pace of life in the Puglia region of southern Italy. It lies on a peninsula that divides the Ionian and Adriatic seas, so it stands to reason that Puglia's life has always revolved around water. The climate is dry, arid, making fresh water a valuable resource. The growing season is short. Only plants and trees that require little water are left to fight the heat of summer. Olive trees, grapevines, and wheat dominate the countryside here. They're also the region's main exports: olive oil, wine, and pasta.
Puglia, as a region, produces around 30-35% of the total production in Italy. So that's why the olive oil production is one of the most important income from the producer in this area.
The olives are picked throughout the fall at different stages of ripeness. For oil, they're sent to mills where they're crushed. The paste from this process is then pressed. Oil from the first pressing is called extra virgin olive oil, and most of it is exported. In May, as the grapevines burst into life, workers spend the mornings pulling leaves away from the delicate buds. The harvest of white grapes begins in August. By mid-September, the remaining varieties have been picked and are on their way to market or to a cantina. At the Zecca Cantina in Leverano, Italy, Count Alcibiade Zecca and his 3 brothers work together. The family operation produces more than 1 million bottles of wine a year.
Well, our farm is well known ever since we began bottling our own wine, something my father began. Because before that, as I said, we just grew the grapes and made wine, and then it was just sold in bulk. But then my father thought it would be necessary to improve our final yield by bottling the wine ourselves instead of selling it in bulk.
Alongside the vineyards are fields of durum wheat used to produce pasta in this region of Italy. In the factory, pasta is made with only 2 ingredients, flour and water. Different shapes and sizes are produced to obtain unique textures. Most Italian families eat pasta twice a day, as they have for generations. But the tradition of making it from scratch every day is no longer possible because many women now work outside the home. From the land to the sea, the culture and traditions of the people in Puglia have always evolved around available resources. Although times have changed and the pace has picked up ever so slightly, the harvest will continue, and so will the traditions.
Well, you just saw a little bit of the vineyards in Puglia in that last report, but we did promise you information on Italian wines as well. Well, Todd Alexander is an expert on Italian wines and especially on the wines of Puglia. Todd, you've been there. Give me your impressions.
Yes, I actually had the opportunity to live and work in Puglia for about 2 weeks, actually making this very wine. The wines of that region really benefit from a long harvest season. They get a lot of sun in Puglia, and the better winemakers are able to take that long growing season and produce wines that are not only high in alcohol, but also have a lot of fruit in them, which can make a very robust, very full-bodied wine that will go very well with the foods that they actually eat from this region. This Notte Panaro, made from Cosimo Taurino, is a 1986 vintage. This wine is almost 10 years old, but you'll still see that it's very vibrant and very healthy, ruby red color. And you'll notice on the nose that's very ripe, full aromas, and it's a wonderful, well-rounded wine. In Puglia, they tend to eat a lot of grilled meats, and as well as a lot of tomato-based dishes that are very spicy, if you will. So to accompany that spice, they need a wine that can stand up to those spices. And that's why you'll find that a lot of their red wines down there, which is primarily what they drink, are very hearty and very robust.
Thank you, Todd.
You're quite welcome, Valor. Salute.
Salute. Well, from one European country to another, a little bit earlier on, we told you that Germany was also one of the top 5 picks by U.S. travel agents as international destinations. Well, there's one stop in that country that's sure to make visitors feel like kings and queens.
In the middle of the 19th century, 17 years were needed to build Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria. Yet King Ludwig II, its creator, spent little time in it before he mysteriously drowned at age 41. Since then, it's been a museum, and for the past 100 years, visitors have been taken aback by stunning wood carvings, murals, and marble, not to mention its size. The fortress is even the model for Disneyland's Magic Kingdom.
In the inside of the castle as well, it's so like a fairy tale almost.
Whether in summer or the snowy calm of winter, tourists marvel at the elegant surroundings of the fairy tale king. Byzantine paintings give a religious feel to much of the interior. The expense drove the kingdom to near bankruptcy, but for a few months, Ludwig enjoyed the opulence.
Here you can see a lot of oak wood carvings, and 14 wood carvers worked for 4.5 years just on this one room.
And this year's 150th anniversary of King Ludwig's birth is cause for additional celebration. For CNN Travel Guide, I'm Chuck Roberts.
Many of the events marking the anniversary are scheduled for later this month. For more information about Neuschwanstein and Ludwig's other creations, write the German National Tourist Office at 122 East 42nd Street, New York, New York, 10168, or call area code 212-661-7200. We're going to take a break right now, but first it's time to test your knowledge of geography. This week, we want to know what islands were once known as the Enchanted Isles. We'll have the answer when we return, and we'll also take a jaunt across an ocean or two. Stay tuned.
Great songs we'll never forget. Hello, Wall. Now, Heartland Music presents 40 of the biggest classic hits in country music history.
Town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
4 big albums.
They say don't go
40 classics.
On Wolverton Mountain.
Like Jim Reeves.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
All the original hits.
I can't get over how she said
so many unforgettable songs.
Oh, lonesome me, Abilene.
Country classics. 40 legendary hits. in one historic collection.
You walk by and I fall.
But Country Classics is not in stores.
Make the world go away.
Please stay tuned to order now.
Just because I ask a friend about her.
Call 1-800-257-1257 to save all COD charges and pay only $19.98 for records or cassettes or $26.98 for 2 CDs, plus $4.50 shipping. Use your credit card or send check or money order to Country Classics, P.O. Box 2919, Atlanta, Georgia. Remember, save all COD charges by sending check or money order or use your credit card.
Welcome back to Travel Guide. We'll have the answer to our geography quiz in just a moment. But first, we're going to catch up with some blue-footed boobies and see what's new in their world. See if you know just where that world is. Is just part of the amazing array of wildlife found in the Galapagos. And that leads to the answer to this week's geography quiz question. Remember, we asked what islands were once known as the Enchanted Isles. You just saw them, the Galapagos. The islands lie 600 miles off the coast of Ecuador and stretch across more than 3,000 square miles of the Pacific Ocean. Pirates used the archipelago to hide their stolen treasure. Mutineers were sometimes left there, and castaways used the islands as a refuge. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll be taking an in-depth look at the Galapagos, both on land and underwater. We have to take a break right now, but when we come back, we'll have a sneak preview of our Galapagos series. Stay with us.
If you look no further than our clear Caribbean waters, you'll miss the true colors of our islands.
The Cayman Islands.
People love good food, flavored with garlic, onions, and spices. But it happens, bad breath. I can eat what I want because of Breath Assure, the internal breath freshener. Gargle, sprays, and gums, nah, mini cover-ups. All natural Breath Assure is long-lasting. Swallow a few of these powerful capsules that work from the inside. Be sure. Breath Assure.
To order Breath Assure for $19.95, call 800-257-1257. Call now. That's 800-257-1257.
I'm Frank Sesno. Join me for Late Edition, the last word in Sunday talk. This week, the Republican Revolution, how it's changing America. House Speaker Newt Gingrich joins us live and takes your calls. Late Edition, 5 p.m. Eastern today.
Don't those desserts look great? Well, maybe when I'm finished working, which I am. Thanks for joining us. I'm Valerie Voss. Be sure to pack your bags for next week's Galapagos adventures. Here are some scenes to whet your appetite. We'll see you then.
Come on. Let's go diving.
Hi, this is Carolyn O'Neill, host of CNN's On the Menu. You can see more of this part of the world next week and lots of great Italian food. Watch On the Menu Saturday, August the 12th at 1 p.m.
We'll have a news update in a moment, but first a look at the day's weather with Byron Miranda. Byron.
Gene, not a really busy day. There's some rain in the northeast and the southeast, as well as into the upper Mississippi Valley. Let's take a look at the satellite picture. Remnants of barren moving off and towards the Atlantic Ocean. That means that we're going to have some clearing behind it, dry weather, hopefully for New York City, Washington, D.C., into Philly. In fact, Philadelphia is seeing some showers right now. Down in the southeast, we're seeing a bit of activity all the way from Louisiana into Mississippi. You see the rain through the upper Mississippi Valley. In fact, it is pretty dry, though, all the way out west from the Great Basin into California. The Pacific Northwest, though, Seattle as well as Portland, potential showers for you. In the southwest, Four Corners, you're going to see probably a monsoonal flow. Albuquerque, New Mexico, as well as Denver, Colorado, you'll see some showers today. The plains should remain pretty dry, as you can see from over here, over into the southeast. Well, there's the rain activity. There's actually a severe thunderstorm warning for northeast Oklahoma. If you're there, expect the potential for some high winds and some heavy rain, so you want to be careful if you're there. Back to you, Gene, in Washington, D.C.
Thanks, Byron. CNN Late Edition is just ahead at the top of the hour, and here's Frank Sesno with a preview. Frank.
Thanks very much, Gene. A very special show after 200 days leading the Republican Revolution. Where will Newt Gingrich take America next? The Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, will give us his assessment, and he'll take your phone calls next on Late Edition.
Tonight, trash talk, nightly violence, the facts, or the fantastic. What's really taking the spotlight in the media circus? CNN presents tonight.
Find a used car or truck?
Travel Guide.